We are preparing to go live in any minute. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to day 20 of ICZ Ramadan program. We have Maulana Seyed Hadi Yassin in our programs until Ramadan 23rd. One quick announcement. We have Quran quiz online for families this Friday, May 15th at 9 p.m. Please register. There's one registration per family. And before I invite our speaker, I request to please recite a Surah Fatiha and 3 times Surah Ikhlas for all Marumin. Include those for whom there is no one to recite Fatiha, your own Marumin, and those who sponsored today's program. And that list is Ruxana, Rashid, and Marumin of Rashid family, Dina, Gadar, Yusuf Ali, Osman, Omar, Muslim, and Haider. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I now invite Maulana to start the program.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا علي ibn Abi Talib. Our condolences to Imam of Asr, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam, to all Ma'asumin and the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'minin. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May Allah inshallah accept all your prayers, your amal and your du'as inshallah. May Allah give you and us the tawfiq to be among the true followers and Shia of Amir al-Mu'minin inshallah in dunya and be with them in akhirah with the barakat of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, we have the tawfiq and opportunity that on the other night, important night, Muhtamal is possible to be night of Qadr. We are together. We are getting ready, inshallah, to take advantage of the barakat and fiyuzat of this month. And at the same time, also, this night is the night of the shahadat of our beloved Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam as well. يحزنون لحزننا. We are following the steps of Ahlul Bayt, Abu al-A'immah, the father of all Imams, the one who Ahlul Bayt specifically respected Amir al-Mu'minin a lot, the second important creature after Rasulullah and insan after Rasulullah. This insan kamil, Amir al-Mu'minin, Ya'subuddin, Qa'id Ghurr al-Muhajjalin, that is the model and example for all humanity, specifically for his followers, for his Shia, inshallah, that will have the advantage of making our lives, inshallah, closer to lifestyle of Amir al-Mu'minin and reach salvation and inshallah, kamal through that as well. As the tradition, we follow the ahkam, 1 or 2 points, inshallah, here, the ahkam of fasting of Ramadan. The qaza of Ramadan are those that, sisters, those days that they shouldn't fast, the haze and the fast for others, they have to do the qaza of them. This is point. Another situation here is that if someone at the end of month of Sha'ban, doesn't know if it's the end of Sha'ban or the beginning of Ramadan, and he or she doesn't fast, and then later realizes that it was Ramadan. Of course, they have to do the qaza of the first of Ramadan that they missed. The same if it is the end of Ramadan and shak between end of Ramadan and the beginning of Shawwal, and she or he didn't fast, but later on realizes that it was actually Ramadan, they have to do the qada inshallah after that. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajah. There are some opportunities throughout the life of insan that we should take advantage of them. Some opportunities that if they go and bypass us, it's very difficult or sometimes impossible to take them back. One of those opportunities are Night of Qadr. Tonight, the 20th of Ramadan, the eve of 21st of Ramadan, very, very important night, very important occasion. The minutes and moments of this night are considered important in Islam and the Maktab Ahlul Bayt. When we say khayrun min alf shahr, that means it's equal to more than a life of a normal person who lives in this dunya, 80 something years. That important is one night. That important is you pay attention to the opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides for you. We talk about the topic of ibadah, the topic of relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the topic of looking at deen from different aspects, looking at sins, gunah, ma'asiyah, looking at tawbah from different angles. If I want to give an example for all these examples of relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the topic of getting away from sins, getting away from the maharim of Allah, we should find someone to make it more practical to ourselves. We should find a true mu'min to be able to see, okay, so all these things that we are discussing, we're following, we're talking about, there should be someone, some person that actually acted upon all these things. So we know that it is possible to be successful in this path. If we want to mention a name of someone, the best of all mu'mineen, actually the commander of all mu'mineen, the commander of all the faithful, Amir al-Mu'minin Imam alayhi salatu wasalam. That's why we call him Amir al-Mu'minin. He's the commander of all mu'mineen, the true mu'mineen. Why he is the commander? Commander is the best of all. Commander is the bravest, the most knowledgeable, the most pious, the kindest, all the good things you can imagine, the commander should have. If there is someone else better than him, then it shouldn't be the commander. Amir al-Mu'minin indeed is the one who all the beauties and attributes, all the good things, and we can find this as an example. After Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this dunya for us, to see him as a model, so we take this path step by step, where he went, how he went, we do the same thing. As we said, Allahumma ij'al mahyaya mahya Muhammad wa Muhammad wa mamati mamat Muhammad wa Muhammad. We want to live the life of Muhammad wa Muhammad. We want to die with the death of Muhammad wa Muhammad. So Amir al-Mu'minin becomes an example for the ibadah we talked about, for the tawbah that we talked about. Go read the translation of the supplications and dua from Amir al-Mu'minin. Although he's ma'soom, although he's infallible, immaculate, but we see how much he's indicating and showing and mentioning his deficiencies in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how much he's asking for forgiveness. And he's teaching us to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this way. It becomes an example. It becomes the model in front of us that we all should follow. That's why the hadiths are saying, dhikru Ali ibadah. The dhikr and mentioning the name of Ali is actually ibadah. How is it possible that they mention the dhikr of someone will become ibadah? Because when you mention the name of someone, you keep remembering that person. You remember the lifestyle of that person. You remember the attributes of that person. Then you get closer. You want to be close to that person. Anyone in this worldly situation, if they have a model, an example, ulgu, to become like him, they want to become her, him or her, they want to become someone like him. Dhikr Ali, the name of the zikr of Amir al-Mu'minin, it's ibadah because of what? Because it reminds us about who was Amir al-Mu'minin, the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin as well. To the level that if someone hears, according to traditions, and someone hears the fada'il and attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin, because he's hearing, for that the benefit of hearing, the sins of the ears will be forgiven. If someone writes down the fada'il and attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin, let's say someone is writing down, someone is posting, someone is throwing online social media, as long as that written, that statement that he or she wrote it down, as long as it is stays, Malaik would ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this abd who wrote it. Subhanallah. Why? Because not only he or she is reminding himself and herself about the attributes and get closer to those attributes, but at the same time, they are spreading this attribute so everyone else, they're hearing and they want to get closer to Amir al-Mu'minin and his attributes. About the attributes of someone like Amir al-Mu'minin Imam Ali ﷺ. The one that, as I said, Rasulullah manqul from him, that only me and Allah knows you, Ya Ali. So it's tough, it's difficult to talk about him. When you put different traditions from Rasulullah together, you see how important is the example of Amir al-Mu'minin in our lives. How difficult is life of is the talking about the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin for us. How much attributes Amir al-Mu'minin has. Imagine for over 60 years, whatever they tried and they could, they did for the sake of removing the name of Amir al-Mu'minin, for the sake of removing the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin. They started at the time of Muawiyah, continuing, they started cursing Na'uzubillah Amir al-Mu'minin. Muawiyah was the first one who started cursing someone in Islam, in the Manabir, another Muslim. So what happened here is this. How many years they tried to remove the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin, they couldn't. They were not successful to remove the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin from this world. And how much attributes Amir al-Mu'minin? They removed a lot from their books and whatever they could. But how much is left? Because the beauty of Amir al-Mu'minin, this light is shining in the sky of Iman. Imagine how much attributes we know about Amir al-Mu'minin. We know that Rasulullah says, Amir al-Mu'minin manqul from it says, do not consider me God, I'm not the Rabb. Do not consider me a prophet, I'm not a prophet. Whatever you say about my attributes, that's correct. He's better than angels, he's so forth, that's correct. He is the Imam al-Muttaqeen. Then the tradition comes manqul from Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, if I was not, pay attention brothers and sisters, it's very important. If I was not afraid that my ummah would say something about you that Christians are saying about Jesus, I would have said something about you. People, they believe that Jesus, Isa is God. They made a mistake between the attributes they have seen from Isa, just because he could have a dead person in front of him and with the azn of Allah, he could bring him back to life. They said, oh, this is what God do, so we believe that he's God or he's son of God, right? Because he doesn't have a father. Well, no one has come to say, hey, if he doesn't have a father, so he's son of God, then Adam, he doesn't have a father and a mother, so she's more deserved to be son of God. Why don't you call Adam, Prophet Adam, that he is son of God? Anyhow, Ya Ali, if it was not that I'm afraid my community would say something about you that Christians say about Isa, I would have said a lot. What else, Ya Allah? What else, Ya Rasul, you're going to talk about Amir al-Mu'minin that we don't know? That means Rasulullah didn't say a lot left from the life of Amir al-Mu'minin, from the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin. There are many things that Rasulullah didn't say because of what he said, I'm afraid of something. Then when you think you cannot even comprehend, there's no doubt for us that what is there that Rasulullah didn't talk about Amir al-Mu'minin? Is there, what else is there? Subhanallah. What else lifestyle of this great personality? We talk about ibadah. How many nights we talk about ibadah, about worship, about relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You want to see the true example of that ibadah? Amir al-Mu'minin. You want to see the true joy and happiness and excitement in the path of ibadah? Amir al-Mu'minin. The true meaning of ibadah, the true meaning of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and enjoying it. Amir al-Mu'minin. We all hear that كلهم نور واحد, all Ahlul Bayts, all Imams, they are the same and all have the same attributes, everyone. Well, we know that Ahlul Bayt, other Imams, they respected Amir al-Mu'minin the way that they consider him more and more important than any other Imams. He's the Abu al-Amma, he's the father of Imams, right? One of those attributes that Imam Ali salatu has is Amir al-Mu'minin. Have you thought about why none of other Imams, they call themselves Amir al-Mu'minin? Well, indeed, Imam al-Sadiq is Amir al-Mu'minin. He's the Amir and the commander of all faithful. Indeed, Imam al-Kazim is the same. Indeed, Imam Hassan Askari is the same. But why none of them, they call themselves, didn't give themselves this permission to call themselves Amir al-Mu'minin? Why? Someone came to Manqul Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam and said, if I want to say salam to Mahdi of your ummah, Mahdi of your generation, your party, if I want to say salam to Mahdi, can I say salam alayhi? I said, no. Don't say salam to him like this, or to all of us. Don't say salam to him like that. Why? Because Imam said, ذَلِكَ اسْمٌ سَمَّاهُ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. This is the name that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He called only Ali ibn Abi Talib Amir al-Mu'minin. وَلَا يُسَمَّى بِهِ أَحَدٌ مِنْ قَبْلِ. And no one called himself Amir al-Mu'minin before Ali ibn Abi Talib or after Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib illa kafirun. No one called himself Amir al-Mu'minin before Ali or after Ali except they are kafir. This is the name that Allah, we know that. This name comes from Rasulullah. The name of Amir al-Mu'minin came given to Imam Ali salatu wasalam by Rasulullah. La yantiqu anil hawa. He does not talk based on desires. That, oh, his son-in-law, his cousin is there to call him. No, na'uzubillah. As he keeps saying, everything I say is about Amir al-Mu'minin is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I said don't everybody close their doors towards masjid, not the house of Ali, it's because Allah says. If I say this about Ali, because Allah says. Because if I talk this way about Ali, if qadirahum, because Allah says. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. If I say Amir al-Mu'minin because Allah says, the Hadith Man'ud said, no one can call himself. Imagine all those people who call themselves Amir al-Mu'minin after Imam Ali says, no one can call themselves. Then the guy asks, then if I want to say salam to Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala wajhu sharif, what should I say? How should I say? Imam says that, tell him, Assalamu alayki ya baqiyat Allah. Don't say Assalamu alaykum, although they're all Amir al-Mu'minin. How much they were respecting Imam Ali. Imagine the night of Shahad Imam Salih, Imam Baghi, and so forth. And then how much Ahlul Bayt and Imams, they are upset and mahzoon tonight on the night of the Shahad. Not only them, the Malaik, the angels, the Arsh of Allah, everywhere. The whole universe. And the huzn of the Shahadat of Amir al-Mu'minin. every corner of life of Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, when you look, there is a lesson for us. One, Ali, he said, Ya Ali, بماذا نلت? What happened that you become Ali? How you became Ali? SubhanAllah. Great question. At the end of the day, we have billion and billion people in this world. No one could become Ali. Only one became Ali ibn Abi Talib. What made you become Ali? What is the secret, Ya Ali? Amir al-Mu'min answered. It's not easy to be Amir al-Mu'min, right? Imam said, بالعود على قلبي. I want to translate it. I sit down next to my qalb, next to my heart. I do not let anyone enter this heart except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm next to my heart. Anything else beside Allah, it's not worth it. All junk. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, when we say Allah and Shu'un belongs to Allah. Allah and whatever belongs to Allah. Nubuwwah belongs to Allah. Imamat belongs to Allah, right? The love of Allah and those who love Allah is the same. That's the Shu'un of Allah. When I don't let anything else beside Allah enters to my qalb, that means Allah and Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt and Amir al-Mu'min and prophets and Salmun liman salamakum wa haramun liman harabakum, right? But only those things that belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing else. I did not let anything else into my heart. What are we talking about this nice brothers and sisters? We're talking about this. We're talking about emptying our heart in nights of Qadr from anything except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to clean up this heart. We have to clean our heart right now. Before this night, sit down, Ya Allah, please forgive us, please forgive us. We have to remove these problems and these issues from our heart first. All those junk things, all those shahwat of money, lust and desire of money, the desire of position. Some people, they have the desire of money. They want more money. Some people, they have the desire of position. You take their position, they yell at you. You step on their toe, they yell, oh my God, don't touch my position. They have the shahwat of riyasat. They want to be rais, they want to be the head. When you talk to them, no, we have different shahwat. We have shahwat, different ways. Shahwat to control sexual as well. They can control it. The same way shahwat, they can control it different ways, right? They all come to the heart and put the layers in front of the heart. This heart that is supposed to reflect the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nur, would not reflect anymore. This is Ali. Amir al-Mu'min did the same. This is a secret, so it's very easy and important for us what to do. Who is this Ali that, and attributes of Amir al-Mu'min that whoever hears about him becomes fall in love with Amir al-Mu'min. George Jordan said, any attributes I found for anyone, I found in Amir al-Mu'min. That's why I wrote a book. There's no good attributes in this dunya that I said someone in the corner of this world, in this universe, he or she had that attributes, unless جمعت في صفاتك الأصداد. Everything, when I look at your sifat, your attributes, your Ali, Tafiyuddin Ahdi said, I am shocked. Those attributes that are contradicting, those attributes that usually are not two of them in one person, what I see in you. You're the best warrior in Arab. The strike that you had in Khandaq and Uhud and Badr, people are still remembering, they're afraid of it. Your stories are the lullabies of the babies of Medina and Mecca and Kufa, that mothers are telling their children and their son at night for your bravery, for who you were. But at night, you cry in the house, in front of the house of Allah and Qibla, and you ask for forgiveness. At night, you go to nights of the aitam and the orphans, you bend down, you act as you are, na'udzu billah, you are the animals, and you want to make them happy by having them on your back. Subhanallah, subhanallah. These two, how did they get together? That your enemies, they confess to your beauties. That your enemies, they confess to your attributes, Ya Ali. No one could deny your attributes. We'll talk more about, inshallah, the enemies, how they talk about Amir al-Mu'minin at the nights as well. There's a guy called Najashi. Amir al-Mu'minin, he had to do the had to him. He drank, so had with him, in Islam we had to do. So anyhow, something happened, he went to Muawiyah. Muawiyah asked him, where are you coming from? He said, I'm coming from the adl of Ali, the justice of Ali to your oppression and zulm. SubhanAllah. You're sitting tonight in the majlis of someone who is this person. But Rasulullah, he called him his nafs. Ali al-nafs. Quran says the same thing. Surah Al-Mubahala. He's the nafs, he's the soul of Rasulullah. He's the same as Rasulullah. The same. Of course, when he's the same as the soul of Rasulullah, he should be this way. When you jump into the ocean of the attributes of Amir al-Mu'minin, you don't know what side you have to take, what side you have to talk about. Abbas, the uncle of Amir al-Mu'minin, the uncle of Rasulullah, he was there with his son. Imam Ali, he enters Rasulullah, look at him, the look of love and happiness and love. And Abbas says, do you love him? Rasulullah, it looks like you love him a lot. Rasulullah says, Allah, manqul from Rasulullah, Wallah, Allah ashaddu hubban lah. Swear to Allah, Allah loves him the most. No one loves Ali as much as Allah loves him. Why not? What did he do, Ya Amir al-Mu'minin? From the beginning to the end, as he said, he was next to his heart, only Allah, sincerely for the sake of him. That's why he's the most just ruler that you can find in the whole world, Amir al-Mu'minin. That's why his brother Aqil, he knows that he comes to Amir al-Mu'minin, he's going to put the piece of iron that is hot next to the hand of Aqil. Why? Because absolute just on the earth, Amir al-Mu'minin, he showed. It's all Allah and adl of Allah. Then Manqul Rasulullah says, Ya Am, inna Allah ja'ala dhurriya, ja'ala dhurriyat kulli nabi, O uncle. Allah put the progeny and the nasl of each prophet in their sulb, in their own way, in their own body, in their own way, right? In their own system. But وَجَعَلَ ذُرِّيَّتِي فِي صُلْبِ عَلِيِّ بْنِ أَبِي طَالِبٍ. But my generation is in the sulb of Amir al-Mu'minin. My generation comes from who? From Ali. When we say وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ, a single leaf does not fall without the adhn of Allah and permission of Allah, or Allah knows about it. Rasulullah had a son. The sons, they passed away. So his progeny, his generation would not come. Underestimate or talk differently about the children of Zahra Salamun alayha. They say, oh, Rasulullah, he had a son and his children are the sons of his sons. Allah wanted all go away. Only Zahra stays. And Amir al-Mu'minin and the progeny and generation of Rasulullah comes from what? Continues from what? From Amir al-Mu'minin and Zahra Salamun alayha. We read and we recite this ayat, these traditions, then we see, do we really know Amir al-Mu'minin? No, as Rasulullah says, only Allah and Rasulullah knows Amir al-Mu'minin. قدام races, people of heaven, malaika, they are more aware of the attributes of Ali more than the people of the earth. They don't know who is Ali. They don't know who is Ali. If they knew who is Ali, they wouldn't have treated him this way. That they trade him with power. They trade him with khilafat. They trade him with who's going to be the first after Rasul. If you knew who is Ali, if you truly believed in Rasulullah that he said Ali is my nafs, then when the nafs of Rasulullah is in the community, there's no turn for anyone else if the nafs is in the community. If Shia and Sunni, they talked about the Sha'n and Nudul of Ayy Mubahilah, it's all about Ahlul Bayt and Amir al-Mu'mineen. And in this ayah says, وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ. If Shia and Sunni narrates the position of Amir al-Mu'mineen to Rasulullah and to Islam, then when you know these things, there is no turn for anyone else when the nafs of Rasulullah is in the community. How should he say it? And you go further and further, you see that they didn't even believe in Rasulullah. Yes. Imagine someone tells you to do something, you do opposite, and he says, Ya Allah, we love you so much. فَاتَّبِعُونِي, follow me in action, not just claim. Follow Rasulullah in action. If you really truly believed in Rasulullah, you would have listened to him, what he said in Hadith Dar and the Ashiratik al-Aqrabeen. If you truly listen to Rasulullah, you would accept what he said in Ghadir Khum about Amir al-Mu'mineen, that he's the Imam, he's the Khalifa after me. If you truly believed in Rasulullah, you wouldn't leave Jaysi Usamah, the army of Usamah, that Rasulullah says, La'anallah the one who obey this command that you have to stay with Jaysh Usam. Why at the end of his life Rasulullah wanted the whole Medina and men to leave Medina and go to Jaysh Usama outside of Medina? Did he just accidentally said that? Na'uzubillah, as the second Khalif said, Inna rajul la yahjur, this guy is delirious, doesn't understand what he's saying. Is it this way, or Rasulullah is Rasul to the end of the last minute of his life? Huh? If to the last minute and moment of his life he's the Rasul, he's Amin Wahi, then he knows what he's doing. Then when he says, all of you, big and small of the Sahaba, leave Medina, only Ali is here and few, then why did you disobey Rasulullah and you came back? So he didn't know that he's gonna depart from this dunya. He didn't know these are the last moment of his life, Rasulullah. That's why he sent you, and you knew better, so you came back to help Rasulullah. He knew his life. He knew everything about our ulama, our urafa. They know that sometimes they said, tomorrow I'm going to die at this time. Next week I'm going to die at this time, so do this and that. They are aware of their death, when it's going to happen, because of the izn of Allah. Let alone Rasulullah. So he said, leave Medina. You came back to what? For the mansab, for the money, for the position? Don't you even think in the history? He said, leave. Maybe there was something he didn't want you to be there. Maybe he was afraid of you few to be there and to take that position. Maybe he was afraid of you few to be there and do against what he recommended. No one think about why Rasulullah wanted Medina to be empty from these people. What else should we say? The whole Ummah of Islam, what's happening to Ummah of Islam because of what? Because of what happened at that time. Then some people says, this is part of history. What do you mean part of history, piece of history? Whatever we are hurting today, Islam is hurting today, is because of that day. Because of that day. It's pain. These are the faza'il of Amir al-Mu'mineen. How much Rasulullah, he shows his love to Amir al-Mu'mineen, his love to the children of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Hassan and Hussein, Sayyid al-Shabab Ahl al-Jannah. There are 12 Imam, 12 Khalifa, 12 different ways of Rasulullah says comes from this generation. Then why did you disobey Rasulullah? Forget about Amir al-Mu'mineen. They disobeyed Rasulullah. They didn't believe in Rasulullah that much. Otherwise, they would listen to it. That was not the first time, by the way. And it was not the first thing that they disobeyed Rasulullah. No, many other things they changed. Rasulullah said this is halal. They said this is haram. Rasulullah said this is haram. This is halal. No, because I think it's better to do it this way. You all know, and everybody knew the position of Amir al-Mu'mineen, how knowledgeable, how pious, how helpful he was. They put him in his house because of their own power and money. Shahbat of riyasat. And then torturing the Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen. From the beginning, after the demise of Rasulullah, until this name Shia, Rasulullah, according to traditions, he used for the followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And tava shi'atukal, you and your follower, Faizun, you will find, tranquility. You will find the prosperity. Rasulullah used this term. And they call it his Rafisi. Rafisi, you know who used it? Pharaoh used it for the magicians who obeyed Musa. So this is on one side, the attributes of Amir al-Mu'mineen, who he was. And tonight we're in this sorrow and grief of the shahadat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. One side is the shahadat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The other side, that the Shia's heart, and the true Muslimin, by the way, those who have the muhabbat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, what they did to Amir al-Mu'mineen. If Ali that saluni qabla an tafqiduni, the only one in the whole universe could say, ask me before I go away, you miss me in this dunya, ask me for whatever you want to ask me. What they did to Amir al-Mu'mineen. How Muawiyah, he treated Amir al-Mu'mineen. Attributes of Amir al-Mu'mineen for being a ruler. Then Ali comes and he's fixing his shoes. He's sewing his ripped up shoes that he used multiple times. And this shoes has no value in it. He shows to his companion, says, how much is worth it to you? Nothing. He's laughing. Look, yeah, you should give money to someone to take it. Huh? How much is worth it? Nothing. Me just being the ruler over you and be the governor, it's worth less than this shoe to me. Subhanallah. Who would say that? Only Ma'soom can say that. This worth more than being the hakim, being the governor of you. I don't want it. Even the fourth one, they insisted. The only reason I might be the ruler and I'd like to be, if I can take ihqaq haq, if I can take the haq and the right of mazloom, oppress one from zalim, if I just can do something right, I will take the responsibility, I will take. This is the only reason I took. Otherwise, be the ruler. Ad-dahr anzalani, summa anzalani. Amir al-Mu'mineen said himself in Nahj Balagha. Look what the world, look the rezogar and the situation, what it did to me, how it put me down, that I have to compare myself to someone like Pesare Abu Sufyan, Muawiyah. That until the last few years after the demise of Rasulullah, they wanted to kill Rasulullah. Ad-dahr anzalani, thumma anzalani. Bring my value so down, this rezogar and this world, that I compare to Muawiyah, I should say I'm so and so. It's not something that you got. Out the level of Hamza, uncle of Rasulullah, and she bite. What should we say about this? This is one side that we miss Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was in this dunya, how much he could help, how much the ummah of Islam could be on the right path. This is one side. On the other side, what they did to this Imam, to this Rasul, to this Amir al-Mu'mineen, to this the commander of all faithful, how they treated him, how much pain they gave him, that he cannot talk to anyone in this dunya. He has no one to share his pain and his concern. He has to put his head into the well, the water well and talk to the well about his problems and his concerns. Before he had Zahra Salam Alaikum, he could talk to Zahra about his issues. When the whole world, were putting pressure on him and issues and problems, when he was tired of the whole world, he was coming home next to Zahra, his source of peace and tranquility, and he was talking to Zahra about his problem. Look what the people are doing, and Zahra could calm him down. Only Zahra. The only kuf for Amir al-Mu'mineen was Zahra. The hadith says, if Amir was not born, there was no kuf for Zahra. Only one can calm him down is Zahra. But who should do that after Zahra? No one is there. No one has that capacity to calm Ali down when he has the whole pressure of the society, of the world, how they are treating him. They don't say that, they don't reply the salam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Who should we go talk about these things to? He said salam, they don't say the jawab of the salam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. La'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimin. He ordered that Mal'un to buy, and they were doing it. They were buying the doll, the toys for the children, and they were, stealing them from their children. And when they were asking for it, it says, Ali stole it from you. So they raised up the children with the hate of Amir al-Mu'mineen, hate towards Amir al-Mu'mineen. How much of this dunya? To what extent? Where are you going to go with this? Someone like Ali that you didn't find anything but beauty from Amir. You want to see why they're against Amir al-Mu'mineen? Their hatred because of what he did to others. Many are Mu'mineen, he took care of them. He took care of them. I said last night, if you want to see why, go see why the children of Yaqub are jealous towards Yusuf. Nothing wrong with Yusuf, nothing wrong with Yaqub. Something wrong with children of Yaqub. Something wrong is with those ummah, those people who saw that they are occupying the right of Amir al-Mu'mineen, that didn't say anything. Somebody says, how is it even possible? Huh? How is it impossible? So they saw Qadir Khum clearly, and they didn't, they went against it. Let's put it this way. Let's ask an open question. How is it even possible? They saw Amir al-Mu'mineen in Qadir Khum. They saw what Rasulullah says. The whole ummah, they saw it, and the whole ummah went against. Is it even possible? Yes, it is possible. How? The whole ummah of Islam, they knew who is Imam Hussein. Huh or not? The whole ummah of Islam, Shia and Sunni narrated Hussein minni wa ana min Hussein. Then how come they beheaded Hussein in the middle of the territory of Islamic ummah? An ummah of Islam. And how all the Sahabi are quiet and they do nothing? How is it possible? The same way it's possible that they took the right of Amir al-Mu'mineen. How is it possible that they behead Imam Hussein and kill his companion and kill the companion of Rasulullah with Imam Hussein? And the whole ummah of Islam are quiet, don't say anything because Khalifa Yazid might be upset or might kill us. Which is worse. How they treated Imam Hussein is worse than Amir al-Mu'mineen, huh? They saw it. And then Mal'un comes and says to Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi, Mal'un, that, oh, you are my Imam Asr, Imam Zaman of me, or you, Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, that the whole Shia and Sunni are calling that he is the most savage, barbaric, bloodthirsty person. So killing Hussein, if they could do that, and the whole Ummah of Islam are quiet, taking the rights of Ali is much easier. Why? Because Hussein is son of Rasulullah. Ali is the son-in-law of Rasulullah. So we can take it, and the whole Ummah of Islam be quiet. If you want better proof, if we can kill Zahra in front of the Ummah of Islam, and the grave of Zahra is still hidden, taking the right of Ali, it's the easiest thing to do. If we can come and say, even if Zahra is in the house, I will burn the house with Zahra and with the family of Zahra in the house, and say it out loud in the society of The whole companion of Rasulullah are there. No one said, oh, you're saying you're going to burn Zahra. Rasulullah says, Zahra bas'atun minni, Fatima bas'atun minni. How much Rasulullah respected Zahra Samanaiha. No one said anything. Shia and Sunni narrated this. That at least he said, I'm going to burn the house. Then they are saying he didn't do it. Shia says he did it. How dare you to say that I'm going to burn out the house of Zahra, the house of Halata, the house of Bah. And no one talked about this. Why you're saying it? If I can kill Zahra somehow, taking the rights of Zahra is the easy. The right of Amir al-Mu'minin is the easiest things. Is it justified now how they did it? Yeah. If Zahra is crying in Bayt al-Ahzan and they come to Amir al-Mu'minin and says, go tell your wife either cry in the morning or at night. She's bothering us by her crying. Allah took blessings from this ummah at that time. Tell Zahra, you know who was Fatima. Tell her that either cry in the morning or at night because she's bothering us. You're far away from the blessings and mercy of Allah. Then that's Ali. Ali is not worried about himself, brothers and sisters. Ali is worried about Zahra. The Shahadat of Ali is not in Kufa. Ali died between the door and the wall in Medina. You know where I'm going. Ali was killed between the door, not over there. Ali, when she heard the voice of Zahra, he already heard from Rasulullah what's going to happen. And that time was the end of the life of Zahra, the life of Amir al-Mu'minin. Ali, Qiratullah. He sees that how they're treating brothers and sisters. Close your eyes. Just go to Medina. I'm asking you, the night of the Shahadat of Ali. Of course, I have to say from the Shahadat of Ali, Shahadat of Zahra. Imagine you are men are watching me as well. Imagine someone, Ya Allah, someone hurt your wife, slap your wife in front of you. How would you feel? Ali's Ghayratullah, Ya Allah, how he felt when he saw that Mal'oon hit the arm of Zahra, the face of Zahra. Let's go to Kufa. Sometimes at this moment in Kufa, all everyone Imam Hassan came out and says, everyone go home. Thank you so much for what you did. Aitam came with the bowl of milk. Thank you. Go, all of you guys leave. They all left except Asbaq ibn Nubat behind the door. Imam Hassan went inside and came back and said, Asbaq, I told you to leave. Ya Hassan, I want to go, but I can't. My feet doesn't have enough energy. I have to see my Imam. Imam Hassan got the permission. Asbaq ibn Nubat came inside. He said, he narrated, when I saw Ali, I didn't know which one is more yellow, the face of Ali or the handkerchief around the head of Ali. He said, I started crying. Good for you, Asbaq ibn Nubat, that you could saw Ali in the last moment. Ali is leaving this dunya. Ali, you were never attached to this dunya. Now is the best moment for Ali to live. The children of Amir al-Mu'minin around him, the same children that Zahra says, Ya Ali, they are going to be a team. Take care of my children. And Zaman said, at the time of Azan, please all, inshallah, have the thawab of this musibah. The same children, Ali looks at Zainab is crying. He saw Imam Hassan crying, didn't say anything. He saw Imam Hassan crying, no. Imam Kulsum, no. When he saw Zainab is crying, he couldn't tolerate it. Daughter of Ali, Zainab, don't cry in front of Ali. Ali cannot tolerate. You were not. You were. See what they did to your daughter in Karbala and to your son Hussein. when Zainab in the last moment in Karbala, between the Qatlegah and the Khiyam, she was running to help Hussein, but she was coming back to take care of the children of Hussein. She was Mudatar in Karbala. At that moment, Ali, you saw Zainab, and how you felt about your daughter, Zainab. لا يا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. The best time is this moment, the night of Qadr, the Azan and Maghrib. Close is time of istijabat dua. Wherever you're sitting, you're hearing my voice and you're seeing me. Raise your hand, inshallah, have all your hajat in your mind. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. الإحسان بحق الحسين عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من عوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم. ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الحسين بحق أمير المؤمنين يا الله يسن لظهوره في الصنم مهدي. Give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of Imam Mahdi. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, do not let anyone from our generation be against the path of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Ya Allah, let us be active in the path of Zuhur. Ya Allah, let us be with Amir al-Mu'mineen in dunya wal akhirah. Add into the muhabbat of Amir al-Mu'mineen in our hearts, Ya Allah. Let us be active in the path of tabligh and spreading the ma'arif and the beauties and attributes of Amir al-Mu'mineen to the whole world. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat, give them all khair hajat. Those who are in the difficulties, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, we don't know what else we have to ask. It's night of Qadr, we're preparing for Amal. Ya Allah, the best thing that you give to the best of your ibad, give to all of us. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, whoever is intentionally hurt, the path of Ahlul Bayt, the path of Amir al-Mu'minin, the path of Islam, hurt themselves, send their evil back to Ya Rahim, in Islam. Those who are sick, cure them all at this moment. And those who passed away, send the thawab and reward out of our gathering to the soul. Rahmallahu man yaqra'u al-Fatiha ma as-salat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Maulana, for beautiful speech. Just one reminder that we have Urdu Majlis starting at 9:15 with Soul Salam, and actual speech is starting at 9:30. And this actually concludes our program. Thank you.